Good morning, leaders. My name is Charlie Allo, and this is the 135, where we tackle one topic, 3 questions in 5 minutes. I have Pastor Den Hussey here joining us today, and we're going to be talking about the topic of how to initiate change, or how to navigate the actual method of change when God is speaking to you that something new can be done. Pastor Den has been the lead pastor here for 5 years at the Crossing Place Fellowship in Bayou Vista, Louisiana. Pastor Den, thank you for joining us.
So great to be here today, Charlie, and I'm really honored that you guys would take time out of your day to watch this video and hopefully learn a few things about how to initiate change.
What is the one thing that you must do that you can't give away when initiating change?
Well, I think the most important thing that I would say is that as the leader, I have to be the one to lead the communication of change. I need to be the one to communicate change. And this communication happens in layers. What I mean by that is this. It really starts with me and then our lead team here. And then after we've really worked through the process and figured out where we are and worked any kinks out of what we want to do, then we communicate that with all of our team leaders. And then right after that, we start communicating it to the rest of the church. Change is not something that can happen quickly. And so we just understand that this whole process could take several weeks, several months. As a matter of fact, as a general rule here, we allow about 3 months to make a change from one place to another. No matter what it is, we just try to use a lead time of 3 months because that gives us an opportunity to communicate, and over-communicate. The other thing I would say is this, that sometimes when I feel like I've communicated enough about the change, I really haven't. And it usually means because I've communicated with a lot of people close to me, but I may not have communicated with the church much. And so I think that it's not possible at all to over-communicate change, but I do think it's very possible to under-communicate change. So you gotta be careful.
What is one thing that you've learned over all your many years of ministry that is the number one or a great mistake that ministers do when initiating change?
Well, I can tell you the one that I've made the most, and it's taken a long time to stop doing that, and that's this, underestimating the amount of time it takes to change. And that really connects back to the first one, and probably the reason that we install that 3-month window. What happens is this, we feel like, I think that once we're ready to make a change, let's do this right now. It's a great idea. And so we want to institute it immediately. I remember one particular month in youth ministry that I decided to do 5 things differently. And before the end of the month, we did every one of them. And they all failed miserably. And the reason they failed is because I failed to understand something that I heard a long time ago. Any organization, but a church especially, we tend to treat it like a speedboat. We think we can turn it on a dime. But the reality is it's like a cruise ship. It takes a lot of space and it takes a lot of time in order to change direction. So the thing I would say, the biggest mistake that I've made, and that I think probably many leaders make, is this, that we just don't give enough time to the change process and we underestimate how long it's going to take.
How does the Holy Spirit prompt you when you know, like what's some signs and things that He has done, maybe 1 or 2 things that He has done to prompt you when it's time for change?
I'll say 2 things about that quickly. The first one is, for me personally, it almost feels like a nudge of unsettling or uncomfortable, just an uncomfortable feeling. For me, I stay pretty consistent across the board. And so when I start feeling like something's just not right on the inside, or if I start feeling unsettled or just a little bit out of sorts, the very first thing I do is say, okay, Lord, are you trying to get me to change? The other thing that I've learned the older I get is this, that younger leaders see the need for change better than I do. They're a lot more pliable. They're a lot better at it. And just to be honest with you, Charlie, as I get closer to 50, I'm pretty stubborn. And so it's one of the reasons that our lead team is made up of people that are under 30, because I understand that they see the need for change, and they often have the energy for change, and they have the mind to implement change in a better way than I do. And so I've really learned that the older I get, it's easier to allow the younger generation, the younger leaders that I have, to figure out what needs to change and how to change it, and then I can drive that process.
Once again, my name is Charlie Allo. Thank you for joining us here with the 135, where we tackle one topic with 3 questions in 5 minutes. God bless.